barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So, this picture that is the screensaver damn near broke my heart today, man. I had to hold back tears. And it just reminded me on so many different levels of the community I was raised in. You know what I mean? And, you know, my cousins, and I'm a father now. And this definitely hits home and resonates with me because I know as men, when we have kids, we want to be a great father. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if the man is innocent. I don't know if the man is guilty. But just the fact that it looks like he has a loyal girl, a loyal woman by his side. He has a child, and it's just heart wrenching, man, to see this picture, man. It's you know, it's it looks like one of my he looks like one of my cousins. Looks like a guy I played with in middle school. He looked like a guy I played against in college. You know, he looks like my neighbor. You know, it's and so does she. She looked like I maybe went to college with her, went to high school with her, middle school with her. Maybe I asked her to the, maybe she asked me to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I don't know, but he can't touch his child, and he's going away for I don't know how long. And we know the America's judicial system against minorities is crazy. It rarely works to our benefit. We are always overcharged and overpenalized, and you don't know the backstory of this, but it's funny how a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, this picture paints infinite words, man, because I I remember going to visit my cousins when I used to go to New York. I called that home when I was a kid. I used to go home for the summer, and I used to go visit my first cousins, and we played all throughout our childhood. And he had a daughter, and we used to take her up to go see him. And it's just, this picture just reminds me of what I see on the news, what we see in social media. But it's just painful to see this, man. I literally had to hold back tears. I was literally working, and it fucking stopped me, like pumped the brakes for real, man. And you know, I'm collecting my thoughts and trying to express them to you. But I hope that you guys can feel my empathy in this picture. You know, I've only spent one night in jail, and that was for some dumb college thing I did. You know, we made a beer run. I don't even drink, but I'm the only one with the car. So, you know, is it when you see that child, and you know, when they depart from each other, she becomes a single mother. He quite possibly becomes a convicted felon. I don't know. I'm just guesstimating. I'm not assuming guilt. I'm just saying if he gets out, he'll have a strike. It'll be difficult for him to get a legitimate job. You know, that's why a lot of felons become barbers. They open up a car wash. Uh, you know, they do other things to create income. And I don't know what that life is like, but it's all sprinkled throughout my family. And I know the struggles that it takes. You may have to go to a halfway house when you get out. You'll be paroled. You got to check in every day, every week. I'm uncertain of that. But the pain in this picture, man, this is a full blown. I ain't lying. This is one of the first pictures I've ever seen in my life. That's a full blown movie. This is one snapshot that I can see. I can visualize a whole movie I potentially can project an ending, project a beginning, what happened in his childhood that made him wear that green suit, uh, how they met in high school or college and had a child together. This is heart wrenching, man, and it's it's like what like the caption at the top say. I feel the love in this picture, but we know in 5 minutes that love will reflect pain and sorrow and hurt. And I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing out of disgust because I know what the comments are going to be like in the comment section. But let me tell you guys, there are more. Well, no, I take that back. Per capita, it's not, but disproportionately, black men are incarcerated. And every time we see someone getting out of jail for a crime they didn't commit, he's always a salt and pepper haired black man. For the most part, man, just the Loyola Project last week, or Monday it was, no, last week, he did 32 years and got out of jail for a crime he didn't commit. I'm literally holding back tears looking at this picture because he looks like my cousin. I ain't lying. He looks like my cousin. And he has remorse in his eyes. I don't know what he did. But, it's life. It's the realities of life. And got to be great men. At the end of the day, he made a decision. I don't know if he's innocent. I don't know if he's guilty. I'm not even going to be presumptuous as it comes to that. But because he's in a green suit, I'm going to say he made a decision that quite possibly landed him there. And he's looking at what he will lose because of that. I hope that he's innocent. I hope he didn't commit the crime. I hope he was falsely accused and he has a great lawyer that gets to the truth. But that beautiful child, man, it's heart-wrenching. And I'm a father, man. I live for those moments to spend time with my child, man. Like, it's and some of my faithful subscribers, you guys hear them in my videos all the time. Whenever I have them, you hear his little voice in my videos. It's just painful, man, looking at this picture. I know I'm being repetitive, but this is a cathartic experience for me, for real. Not because I've been in jail, but because I've been that person going to visit my cousin with his child. And it hurts, I've had students go to jail. I'll tell you a story. I don't know if I'm talking too much, but I was a school teacher and I wrote a play. I wrote a play from scratch. It was my first time writing a play. It was like 2005, 2006. And it was predominantly Mexican, Duarte, California. So it's the population majority is Latino, Mexican, or Honduran. I don't know. But anyhow, I write a play because I'm working at a continuation high school. That's the toughest population in school. They think they grown. They've been kicked out of high school. They borderline don't believe in themselves. You got to rebuild them literally, some of them from the ground up. And so I said, I thought of an idea to write a play. And so I write the play, and people who's never acted before, swear to God, first time playwright, but I was trying to think of something that will engage them. So after school, we're having rehearsals, and school district can't believe it. Newspapers are coming out interviewing us, and they just can't believe that this continuation high school is putting on a performance like this. And the high school comes, we probably have about 500 to 600 people in the play. Well, the day of the play, I have this kid, this Mexican kid. I forgot his name, but I can see him vividly. Straight essay. When I say full blown essay, 100% essay. And he paid attention to me. You know, uh, you, you never know how much someone cares about you till there's some form of adversity and you realize, like, this person really cares about me. We never really spoke on campus. He walked with the big blue jeans and the flannel shirt, as a tough guy. And he probably could handle a lot of the kids on campus. And, I'm a young athletic teacher who's just running around with his head cut off, trying to think of things to keep the kids engaged. And so he wanted to be a part of the play. So I made him a part of the play, and he does his job. And the day of the play, it's different scenes, right? And we went from scene 8 to scene 10. We skipped the scene, right? And because this kid was in rehearsal every day after school, I swear to God, he said Hawthorne. They called me Hawthorne. They called me Hot Dog. They called me Bowling Ball Head because I had no hair at the time. Oh, I guess I started losing my hair. I can't recall. And he says, no, scene 9. And he picks up all the stuff, and the curtains are closing and opening. So we have about a minute, maybe 45 seconds to a minute. And he changed the whole scene by himself. And I'm backstage. I can't believe this kid saved my ass. Saved my ass, right? So fast forward, because it was at the end of the year, maybe April, May. Feel free to Google it too. Mount Olive High School in Duarte, or just Google my name. It'll probably come up in somebody's newspaper. And this kid saved my ass. And the next school year, I get there. I get to school. Mexican kid. We rarely spoke on campus. I mean, we say hi, we say bye, but we didn't really have a true relationship. But that day I realized that he loved and respected me. You know what I mean? And quite possibly that play was like a big deal for him, right? And so we get back to school the next year. Summer comes by, and I says, "Where's the kid at?" I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name. And he says he's in jail, and I just started bawling. I just started crying because at my weakest moment, I ain't lying, my weakest moment, that kid was there for me. And regardless of, and I know he was the kid that probably called the black kid a mayate, and I know he's probably had tons of fights with black guys and black kids. And I'm just being illicit with you guys because I know his environment. I taught there for 4 years, so I don't want to hear no comments. How the fuck you know? I know. And for him to do that for me and for the entire school, I'm always indebted for him. I think of that kid at least once a week. And he stops me for about 5 to 10 seconds. And in the back of I don't verbalize thank you, but I'm always indebted to that kid because we rehearsed for that play for about 3 months. Remember, I've never written a play, and these kids have never acted. It's 25 kids that's a part of this production that's never acted, and the school has never done anything like it. And that kid saved my hide, man. Mexican kid, big essay kid, probably 5'10", 220 pounds. Yeah, comparatively speaking, he's twice my size. I'm 5'7". I was probably 160, 65 pounds, same as now. And but I'm always indebted to that kid. And I don't know what happened to him outside of that. He had a little brother, and I always protected his little brother from that point on. When I taught that, always protected him. He was a little rambunctious kid that was swimming up the same stream as Big Brother was, but I always protected him. And if you guys get my book, Mud Free Rose, I got a poem in there called Mount Olive. That's the high school I taught at. So if you guys get that on Amazon, this is not a plug. I'm just telling you guys if you guys get a chance to read that book, you'll you'll read that poem, and you'll hear it about the kids and the population that I taught. And and looking at this picture, I can't help but think of that kid. That man, I say he saved my hide, saved the whole production, because all the actors would have been on scene 9, and the background would have been scene 10. So you know what I mean. So I'm forever indebted to that kid. And he wasn't black. He was full blown Mexican. When I say full blown gangster Mexican, full blown gangster Mexican. You know what I mean? And so I'm thankful for that. And looking at this picture, I hope that he didn't end up like this. You know? And at the end of the day, these people want to be good. They want to do good. It's just a matter of opportunity. And I know some people say you can't save everyone, but I believe if you were made in the reflection of someone greater than you, whether you believe in Christianity, you're Muslim, Jewish, Catholic, whatever you believe in, right? You obviously believe in something greater than you. Well, not unless you're atheist, something. Regardless of what you believe in, you came from somewhere. And I believe people are inherently good. Every last person is inherently good. If you have 46 chromosomes, there are people that don't have 46 chromosomes, and they may be a little bit different. But I think all across the world, people are inherently good. So that's it. That's my story. And I have tons of stories like that. Maybe I should share some of my stories with my students. You know what I mean? And man, that was some years ago. Yeah, that was, I had a kid. I had a black kid. I'm sorry I'm reminiscing, but I had a black kid in my class. Skinny black kid. Thought he was a bad motherfucker. Bad motherfucker. And mind you, in Duarte, you're going to be the minority. I'm trying to think of the gangs that were over there. Duarte, Threse, I think it was probably. And I forget what the black gang was. Anyhow, he was a part of the black gang. And it was the young black gang and the young Mexican gang. So you know how that is if you went to high school in urban city America. So you guys understand what I'm saying. And that kid, let me tell you what that kid did. He did a hell of a job in the play. Kid you not, man. He did one hell of a job in the play. He helped me. Loudmouth kid. He thought he can get all the girls. That I'm for the sake of this video, that typical loudmouth black kid on the schoolyard. You know what I'm talking about, right? And that thought he was tough, that tried to direct traffic, all the sports, all the girls. And he gave me hell. But we had a relationship. It was the weirdest thing ever. I used to always talk to him about being black. I said, I never was you, but I come from the same environment as you. And at the end of the day, that kid is in jail for murder. Murder, man. And I know it's his environment, because when he was in my class, he never flexed on me. Never, ever did he flex on me. And I always tell the kids, I'm not going to fight you. That's just not my swag. I've been a pacifist probably. You know what I think made me a pacifist? The environment I grew up in and playing football in college. I literally want to kill people every Saturday. Like, that was my job. Like, I literally felt like a vigilante when I played football. And I was an explorer when I was younger. Oh, you guys never knew I was an explorer. So I was like one of them junior cops. And shooting that gun, I always, when I shot the gun, I felt like I had too much power and I was afraid of it. I was like, nah, this shit ain't me. But, you got to, when you have a family, you got to have when you got moms and you got kids in the house, you got to have something in the house to protect yourself. But outside of that, you know what I mean? I don't believe in a, a gun per se, but to protect home, I don't know if it's a necessity, but I think that's what it is. But getting back to that kid, man, he never flexed on me. I'm sorry this video is going too long, but this picture made it hit home, and it hurt me so bad that that kid is gone away for a long time, for a long time, and it's hurtful. It's really hurtful, man, and so that's a reflection of our society. There's one. I told you a story of one Mexican kid, and I told you a story of one black kid. And it's just opportunity, man. You got to give these kids opportunity, and you got to let them know you. You got to let them know you believe it. It was I had a hell. I told myself when I'm 50, I'm gonna go back and teach, but we'll see about it. I had a hell of a run teaching, man. It was so much fun, like for real, for real. Man, I could tell you guys some stories. Now that I'm reflecting, I have so many more stories, man. So many stories that I can tell you. So, anyways, man, getting back to this picture, huh? It's a powerful picture. It's a full-blown movie because looking at this picture again, it gives you an idea of what he'd been through previously and what they're gonna go through in the future together or apart as a family. Whether she separates from him and gets a stepfather for the child, and he has to live with the fact that it's his fault that his child has a stepfather, and you know, this is what movies are made out of, and the truth is, art imitates life. So I know I'm talking you guys' ears off. I didn't want to make this video this long, but this picture genuinely hurts me. If I wasn't such a tough kid, I'd probably be crying right now. But truth be told, you know, I did feel a little mushy when I saw this picture. So, anyways, man, this is why we have to uplift people. And I know I talk a lot of shit, but I know you guys know my spirit. Man, I don't want this upon any man. And now that I'm a father, I have a little toddler that I absolutely adore, love. Man, this is just painful. That little kid has no idea what's going on right now. He just smell and see his mommy and his daddy. Or I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but it may be a boy. Looks like, but I don't know if it's that pink or I don't know. But regardless, it's hurtful. So that's why it's important. It takes a village. Like if you can save one person and I could save one person, wouldn't help one person, push someone forward. You know what I mean? If we can do that, it goes a long way. Because just imagine if I had met this kid in high school and maybe he's in my classroom. Maybe it doesn't get this far. Because when you're a school teacher, you just want to save everyone. I literally want to save I want every award I could possibly win as a school teacher. But there's always going to be pain in me when I reminisce about the kids that didn't make it out. They're doing 5 years, 10 years. You know what I mean? It's hurtful on a personal level. I did an amazing job. I can get my job back in DeWarty, California at the drop of a hat. At the drop of a hat. I can just walk in and say I want a job and they'll find a job for me. But when you lose one like this, what Lauryn Hill say, you might win some, but you just lost one. When I found out that my kids went to jail, I don't know how long. One went away for a long time for murder. It's It hurts. So I'm gonna end this video here because I I'm gonna have to debrief after I do this video for 5 or 10 minutes just to gather myself. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. I appreciate you guys listening to my cathartic experience. And I don't care what the person color is, man. If you could save someone, and I know we want to save people that look like us, I get it because I fall under that tree as well. But at the end of the day, if you can not allow this picture to happen in your inner circle, external circle, your creator is shining upon you and your universe is going to bless you. So barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.